Well, I think the first important point each of the speakers mentioned is the gratitude to the Abuja Petroleum Roundtable for identifying that there is a linkage, a nexus between the petroleum development and the shipping or general transport area. And there was need for this to be encouraged because inter-agency squabbles could reduce the development of the weaker one, shipping being the weaker one in this instance. Also, it was noted that the shipping operators, especially the ship owners, in fact, Tony said there was a kind of difficulty in language, and it was perceived when people talked shippers were ship owners. Shippers are merely importers and exporters. Ship owners are the ones who own the ships, and most of the issue being discussed now would pertain to ship owners. In terms of ship owners, there was the general outcry that you cannot develop indigenous ship owning capacity without support, policy support, as well as the synergy to generate freight. Because in shipping, if you don't have freight, you are not in business. The second aspect there will be the financing, which the Shippers Council noted that you cannot develop the shipping capacity without finance in order to improve manpower, acquisition of the skill, as well as acquisition of the equipment and ships. And you are talking of financing, and we are happy to note that even banks are getting more interested in this area, as the Director General of the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping highlighted. Also, we agreed that development is multifaceted, and if you are going to have a meaningful development agenda, which the Abuja Petroleum Roundtable is urged to take on, there must be a kind of holistic planning. And that holistic planning would mean that petroleum development would need the development of the other sectors, rather than this kind of single lane approach. It was also noted that though cabotage, as the older policy called the National Shipping Policy Act of '87, sought to encourage Nigerians to participate in shipping, the result has been an abysmal failure, and in terms of implementation. And the Abuja Petroleum Roundtable is urged to synergize with other stakeholders, including the Nigerian Chamber of Shipping, to mount a good advocacy group, so that perhaps a presidential attention will be needed to draw the major players into it for solution. At this point, Chief Jolok-Bomo also hinted that the skill would not be the problem, but the patronage, and that the same point was made by Captain Labinjo, and it was agreed that in a situation where the freight involved the Nigerian shipping industry, I'm talking of shipping service, is more than $1.5 billion a year, and you cannot afford that this amount of money is taken out of Nigeria without Nigerians participating. And I think the bottom line, it was said, would be for all the other agencies to sit up and have the political will, as our sister pointed out, because you could have good laws without implementation. The laws are rubbish. But every player should at least develop the political will. I think that has to be underscored, because I challenge even Chief Jolok-Bomo and the rest that and even NIMSA, when it was the enemy, that clause 23 provided penalty. Throughout the period of implementation of the National Shipping Policy Act, I did not hear one case where enemy took someone to court, or took some foreign shipping companies to court, or even challenged NNPC to say that Section 9 of the National Shipping Policy Act made it mandatory that local shipping companies should lift 50% of the oil, yet no Nigerian lifted 1%, and that matter was never tested in court. I think she made the point that political will is very, very essential. And Madam Chairperson, I think this has been the general discussion of this session. Thank you very much.